Alright, so this is the John Deere 555A. It's the loader. Dad's had this probably 22 years, something like that. I forget how many hours I had on it. It had about like 1,200 hours on, I think, when he bought it. I think it's got about 45, 44. I can't remember. We've never really done anything to it. 45.92. It's a good little loader. It ain't no 953 cat, but it's a good loader. Put new tracks and sprockets, front idler, new rollers, whole undercarriage. So it was 2 years ago, because it was getting bad. The tracks would fall off. Now you could run tracks off on flat ground. It was getting, you didn't want to get her on a slope at all anymore. It was just getting bad. It actually, I think it was the other side, but the adjuster here, your cylinder, the tracks were so worn that it got out to where beyond the stroke, and that come off. And then yeah, that was interesting, getting that on the trailer to get her back home, because I just knew it was going to pop off and he's going to have to put it back on pretty much for nothing, so we could take it back off and put new tracks on. But it stayed on. Ain't a bad loader. It's got the little diesel engine in it, 3-speed power shift, 4-in-1 bucket, which is nice. It's got the joystick, which I'm not crazy about joysticks for loaders, but it's got the, I don't know what you call it, your attachment. He's got a backhoe here to go on it, which is it's a pain in the butt. We haven't had it on in years, just because it's a pain in the butt. The old man's got that mini excavator now, and that's just a much better way to dig ditches or do anything. I don't know. I guess they were a good idea, and that's about it. A backhoe on a track loader, because they're so daggone heavy that you can't hardly grade anything when it's on there. You put the bucket on the ground, there's so much weight on the hind end there that it just kind of rears up, and it's not the thing to do. If you were on if this machine was owned by a farmer and he had the backhoe, that would be one thing. But to actually try and go out and do something with it, it's a pain in the butt. It wasn't that hard to put on. If you need to do some ditching, you could have that thing off in not even 5 minutes. I don't think you could take the whole backhoe off. You just knock 2 pins out of this hole here, that hole there, raise your outriggers up and put your bucket down, and you unhook your hose and hook it back up. You gotta remember, always have that hose back here hooked up, because that's got open center hydraulics. And if that oil doesn't have someplace to go all the time, something's gonna give. But little thing to remember. But it's been a good little loader. You can go out and do pretty near anything, and trees. I got a tree there, might be a little big to try and do it, but like up there where that Y is, you can walk up and you open your bucket up, and twist over on it and clamp it, and you can rip trees like that right out of the ground, right by the roots. I mean, that's slick. But yeah, good little machine. But yeah, there's the old roller. This old Ingersoll ran. Got a 4-cylinder Ford in it. I tried to crank it up there a minute ago. Battery's dead. And it's getting dark. I ain't got full around firing it up. That's a good little roller. It's not beautiful, but it works. When we first got it home and running here, I was knocking pictures and stuff off the walls in the house, fooling around the driveway. But that's not a very big drum, but for a small roller, it does a pretty good job. It originally come out of, where was it? Knoxville, Tennessee. What was it? Wilson, Wiesner, and Wilkinson. The guy we bought it from an auctioneer up in York, Pennsylvania, and he said he bought it. I think it was an online auction, and it come out of Texas. When we bought it, it had a big monstrosity of a water tank up here over the drum, and if you look in places, there's tar on it, where they must have down there used that to roll tar and chip, and it had the water on to spray on the drum, and it's even, you can still see there's nozzles back there to spray on the tires, which I thought was kind of cool. But yeah, good old junk. I didn't mean to call you junk. I apologize.